breathe. It's very calm in here this morning. Apart from tea cake barking on the other side of the door. It's 7:25 and I am making party flowers for a hen party. It is the 29th or the 30th even of September, so it's right at the end of my season. And I thought I'd make a clip today about what you do when the season doesn't match the brief. Now, if you're new to the channel, you're very, very welcome. Please do subscribe, press the bell icon, and we'll tell you when we've got more clips coming up. And if any of the tips and tricks I give you along the way are useful, you can always buy me a coffee, or better still, join my club. And the links to both coffee buying and club membership are in the blurb to all my clips. Right, let's get on. Now, there's a real autumnal feel outside today. And you can see in the flowers that we've been doing this week at our floral retreat, everything is softening, fading, gentling, coming to an end, preparing to snuggle up and go to bed for the winter. And when I took the commission for this job, it was, I think, the end of July or beginning of August, when the light was much higher, the colours were, oddly enough, flatter, but sort of just younger. And so what I'm doing is flowers for a hen night party, and the brief is really lovely sugary pink. Of course, the sugary pink, we've still got sugary pink, but the foliage that goes with it is different. The sugary pink is veined with darker, softer. There's a sort of haunting in the colour that goes on. Not a bad haunting, but there's an atmosphere of the winter to come. So I can't, from my garden, make sugar pink, bright summer posies because I haven't got a sugar pink, bright summer garden. And I always use my garden flowers. So, of course, I'm going to go sugar pink. There is going to be a sugar pink theme, but I'm going to use the autumn foliage that I've got, and I'm going to use the autumn colours, and it will have a depth underneath. I think it'll be much, much prettier, and it will go with the light. My clients, they're just taking the flowers, thank you very much. But I hope that subliminally, they will see that this scheme matches the season while still being sugary pink and hen nighty. I had a lovely student here this week, and she was all the way from New South Wales in Australia. And she said that she read aloud to some yoga people she was doing yoga with, a couple of sentences I wrote in my book, The Flower Farmer's Year, about how floristry is ephemeral art. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make some ephemeral art. It's not to last forever, like gardens don't last forever. It's to be beautiful today and catch today's light. In my book, The Flower Farmer's Year, I talk about once upon a time when I was young and very fit. I had the trip of a lifetime. I went to the Himalayas with my parents, and we walked from, I can't remember where we walked from, but we walked for a month up and down mountains and across dales. And one day, one of the experiences we had of many, we walked to Dahlias base camp, and we walked to Mustang, and we walked to Low Mantang. It was really unforgettable trip. And one day we saw we were taken past a cave where there were a group of monks sitting on the floor of the cave making a salt mandala out of different coloured salts. It was the most beautiful thing I may have ever seen. There was a group of about 10 of them sitting in a square making quite a big, it was like a Persian carpet of beauty. And it was a salt mandala. It was so beautiful. And I said, but what will happen to this when they finished? And they looked at me and they said, well, the wind will come and blow it away. And I thought, what? That's it, it's gone. And I learned one of the biggest lessons of my life, that beauty is ephemeral and can be there just for the minute. And we can take a minute and just admire it as it is and then walk away. Let it go. It is what it is. It has been. Anyway, so I was amazed when I had a student all the way from New South Wales quoting this back to me and saying that she'd been reading it to her her friends doing yoga. And this is exactly what so this piece was made by one of my students this week, and how beautiful. It's been around since Tuesday in a shallow vase, and by rights should be long composted. So we'll just admire it for another minute or two, and I'm going to very much make things a bit like this. It feels like the season, it feels like the autumn, but plenty of sugar pink, and I'm going to make them in jam jars because then they can have a ribbon of flowers on the table. So I'm not making them in pedestal vases. And I'm going to put you on the whizzy whizzy. So you can see what I'm doing. I'll put some little music now. I know how to do it. And then we'll have a look at what I've done for the colours and the foliage at the end. All right, see you in a minute. A bit of close up on the material. I've got these lovely pale asters, not pink, obviously, but they're going to be a fluffy addition. Some slightly hotter pink dahlias, because it is, the season is not pale and interesting. There's some depth to it. A bit of wow factor. It's a hen night. Let's have some fun. Hilarious amaranthus, more dahlias, roses. We'll see how they do. They might be a bit floppy. And then on through some fab. The zinnias have been the best zinnias I've ever had. This is Chinese forget-me-not, Leonoris sibirica, a few cosmos really hanging in at the last minute, Physocarpus, dark red version and the zingy green version, variegated cornus, a bit of grass for a bit of tassel, lovely green of the hydrangeas, and sedum, and for some depth, a little bit of Verbena bonariensis. Right. Oh, and more foliage. These are really leftovers from another job, but I might like them for detail, so a bit of difference, bit more bits. Bay. Love a bit of bay. It smells delicious. Right, on we go. TK. So here's the studio from the other end, and I'm going to put you on the whizzy whizzy because I think you'll see it on the light better, and we'll meet again when I've finished. I hope you can see what I mean about colour. I'm in the light, I'm going around the other side. I hope you can see what I mean about colour. How having a little depth of field in here. Go on the back. That's better. Right. I hope you can see what I mean about colour. Having a little depth of field in here confirms the season. It is the autumn. Let's not pretend, never pretend to be something you're not. Never pretend that it is not what it is. These are not Dutch 17th century art, obviously, but each one is a little still life. Literally, nature morte. We have cut, this is compost. We've cut it. It is already on its way to the compost heap. It will not live. It is on its way to go the way of all things, to become part of the earth again and re-begin the cycle of life. And it is the autumn, which is when we feel that very, very strongly. And so we should allow it, I think. If I had gone pink, 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 pink all the way along, I would have felt that it clashed with the light and clashed with the air and clashed with the season. And so my brief was pale pink, masses and masses of pale pink. So to a little bit of an extent, I have ignored the brief. I have added quite a lot of foliage. I mean, to be fair, I work with this family a lot, so they know me. I've added a lot of foliage. There is pale pink, but there's also much warmer pink and a bit of dark mood, signifying the winter to come. So we have the pale pink for the summer that was, the dark foliage to signify the winter to come. And so the cycle continues. We cannot control it, we must allow it. And there you are, I will get off my philosophical high horse. Hope you have a lovely day. And if you have a brief which you look at and which you took on in June when the light was different and the colours were different, how will you adapt it so that you meet the brief, but you also acknowledge the season? Maybe everybody go out and do a 30 stem challenge. It's a lovely day. The end of September, beginning of October. My season officially finishes today. Of course, being me, I have 2 more events to do next week, but officially I'm done. And so I'm going to make a great big bouquet with the leftovers and take them around to Granny. And I hope you guys can take a bit of time and pop outside and see what you've got left in your gardens and have a little bit of a rave up. I'm going to go for a walk with my friend Michelle. These are being delivered while the hens are off at the spa this afternoon, so they're a little surprise for when they get back. And I hope you have a lovely day. See you soon. Happy gardening. Go cutting. 30 stem challenges. Come on. It's a hashtag 30 stem challenge. And if you put pictures on your Instagram, then I will share some of them on my stories. All right. See you later. Have a lovely day.